Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing this May the 18th, 2024 afternoon cryptocurrency and XRP daily update. And you can see yesterday we broke out of this wedge formation, a consolidation after the most recent pump in the Bitcoin price, where you can see we're just short of the all-time high of 109,000 and change. We got up to 105,000 and change today. We had our most recent pump to the upside take place from a major consolidation and support resistance zone, and it broke through the resistance zone at 97,000 and change. And you can see we had that most recent pump from about the 5th through. We peaked out on the 11th with the consolidation starting after that, and then we had this sort of wedge formation where we had our uptrending support on the 50-day moving average. We had our overhead resistance from the all-time, or from the most recent high, and then this morning, but not much volume. Notice each pump, the volume is getting less and less, and the pumps are getting smaller and smaller. So we've been taking notice. We pumped up to just slightly higher than we were at right there on that wick before the reversal started. 1 week ago today, actually, on the 11th, the Sunday of May of 2025. Today, with the volume, you can see that's noticeably less on this run up right here with this spike from support up to breaching barely the old regional high. And that's what we're going to be watching out for the rest of today, especially with our nightly update this evening as the market opens and a new weekly trading begins. And we're going to see if this can hold and continue to pump this price up with the new volume and the opening of the market this evening, or is this thing this afternoon, by the time we make our next update, gonna on the open going to be trading back down, and then the open, it's actually the big reversal, and then there's a big flip where you had the fake out to the upside Sunday morning, and then as the market opens and gets closer, the market starts to sell off with the falling volume, and before you know it, you're back down here at $97,173.06 overnight tonight, and then you feel like you got fleece heisted and shysted by a fake breakout this morning. But the coins are pumping this morning across the board, and this is what we are watching for this evening as the market opens. And you can see we're going to clean up the chart down there. You can see we have the rapidly accelerating bullish cross. We have the 50-day moving average now all the way up here. We'll get rid of that at 94,734. You have the 100-day moving average at 92,000, and you have the 200-day moving average getting awfully close to that major underneath support level that's very far away from the price now, from where the price is at 90,000 and change. You can see this consolidation that we're in with the attempted breakout. If you break out, you might run up to $119,000. On the consolidation, though, if it breaks down, you would quickly come down to the 97,000, and then you would have a topping out look pattern, and you would look to hold that $97,000. But your major underneath supports are set in line if the price does break down, and it's going to be very interesting this week. I think there's going to be a lot of movement this week in the coins. We've got another volatility warning. The last week's volatility warning was all bullish. Will this week's volatility warning continue to be bullish, or will things start to break down? And if they do break down, these are your underneath support levels from top to bottom. 97,100 starts it, 94,000 with the 50-day moving average, 92,000 with the 100-day, and the major 88,000 support level, or the 200-day moving average. And you need to stay above that 200-day moving average to continue the short-term bullish action with attempting to break out to a new all-time high? Or is this going to be what we've been talking about, where it's a great bull trap, where you have a ferocious rally that peters out a few percent below the all-time high, and then before you know it, you're back down at a major support level and or the 200-day moving average? So that's what we're watching out for this week in the Bitcoin price. We can see if we go into the correct chart, we look at the Bitcoin dominance, you can see we've had a rise the last 3 days in dominance, which coincided with the relief rally of selling and some profit taking in the coins and the altcoins especially. We'll see today with the altcoins up, and the daily candle started up, but it has started to trade down now as the days moved on here with Bitcoin dominance. There we go, get back there. If we look at that in the hour time frame, you can see we started off hot then we started to consolidate lower, and now we're starting to delete the ad-free thing and the advertisement that we don't want, and we're starting to try to trade back up now in the dominance. Ethereum, let's see where we're at. We're way up here, still sitting. If we get into the daily time frame, we need to update these moving averages. You can see the 100-day moving average is about to have a bullish cross there. Let's make that the bright red. That's not the bright red that we wanted. There we go. It's at 2,000 and change. The 100-day moving average in blue is just above that at 2188, and the 200-day is just above the 100-day, sitting at 2441. And you can see we're still consolidating for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th consecutive day now, just above the 200-day moving average, sitting there at $2,437. We do know if you pump to the upside, you're going to come all the way up to the $3,000 level, right, with that major resistance zone up there, the green resistance box. And on the downside, we do know the underneath moving averages, and of course the major support level underneath to stay in the short-term bullish is this $1,809 top part of this blue trading zone, an area that you consolidated on for quite some time here. If we zoom back in, after we dipped down and we came back in, which led to the breakout, was this long consolidation right along the $1,809, just below that 50-day moving average at the time. And then you can see we had the big spike, and that's what we're looking at this week with the Ethereum. If we go into the XLM price, you can see the consolidation has continued. We're sitting just above and get bounced again off the 100-day moving average. We have our 50-day moving average crossed over the 200-day or the long term for a bullish cross right there, and we're sitting there off the 33.5, 34 cent wick high from back here on the 12th of May of 25. And what we're looking at here this week now as the market opens is we're going to change the color first and foremost to that. What we're looking to do here is hold that 100-day moving average and continue to the upside. And if you hold that 100-day moving average, you could have another leg to the upside, just like you've done. Then you can come back, consolidate, kick up for another leg, right, and try to get up to this 43 cent mark that's up there. And you can see how we've been doing this. You've had little pump, consolidation, big pump, consolidation, big pump, consolidation. Now, if you repeat, you would come up into this 35, 36, maybe even 37 cent level and have another consolidation if, and only if, you can hold these moving averages that are running parallel. And one of the things in all the coins that you're noticing is the moving averages now are starting to line up and run parallel again, letting you know these consolidations are coming to an end, and there's going to be a big breakout, whether it breaks to the upside or to the downside. And in this case, you need to hold these moving averages that are running parallel, and then that can continue this run to the upside. But if you slip these moving averages and get below the 200-day moving average, it'll drive you very quickly down to this major underneath support level that we're trying to desperately hold as support the last couple of weeks on this pump, and not flip it to resistance, right? So that's what we're looking like in the XLM. It's similar with the XRP, where this head and shoulders pattern is still in play. We've gotten heavily rejected like we thought we would initially off of the $2.55 level up there. You can see the big rejection up there the last few days, just like we thought we would on our videos, and we've traded down close to the 50-day and the 100-day moving average, something that we said is a textbook and something that you would technically look for on the consolidation if you got rejected, which was the most plausible thing to happen coming against a major overhead resistance level. We do know we have the major neckline down there at $2.09. We have the 200-day moving average just below there, and what we're looking at now is a similar thing in a similar pattern in a similar fashion as XLM. As this channel, I ask you to bell notification, comment down below, like the channel. Yes, members become of Jabroni Killers, because this is the only channel out there looking out for you. I'm talking to you, the retail trader and investor, and that's the reason that this channel was created, and we made it an industry cheap, $3.99 and best value, to help support a channel and a movement built to help educate, bring truth, trust, and information and education back into the cryptocurrency sphere, to help you stay on top of this ever-changing, manipulated, high and fast energy-paced market, right? Video description and/or the pinned comment to do that. On our way to 10,000 subscribers and 100 members of Jabroni Killers, right? And you can see what we have here, the resistance. And if we can hold this moving averages, that can hold you and potentially bring you back to the 255 and break it. But if we slip the moving averages, just like we're trying to slip and fleece the criminal gangsters and the market manipulators. If we get slip this and come to the downside, we would quickly come back down to this major neckline support at $2.09. So this is going to be a very interesting week in the XLM, XRP, and the Bitcoin and Ethereum, the major coins this week, to see exactly what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting. And we're going to be on top of this for you. And it's going to be a very exciting open and update this evening to see exactly how all this is playing out today. AMP, we've been paying attention for the pump. And we've had an initial pump here with AMP where we're attempting to have a bullish cross if the price can stay elevated with the 100-day, the 50-day moving average still down there, right? But you can see this pump we had finally attempting a legitimate breakout of this falling wedge that we've been in. And you can see from the swing low to the current swing high, we had a 91.84% move from the suppressed 88% decline since December, but we're still well short of the 0.00925 major upper target on the breakout, right? But something that we have had is we're slightly getting higher volume in the mean in the orange line down there and the daily candles down there on each pump. So if this is going to repeat, the next pump, what you would look for here is on this consolidation, the next leg to kick up would bring you up here to this major 0.00684 level, followed by a similar consolidation that you've seen on the two recent ones where you would have a quick spike and then come down on a consolidation to the moving averages and then try to have another quick spike. So on the upside pump, if this is going to continue, we would look to come into this 0.00665 on the next leg to the upside. And of course, on a breakdown, you would have to hold this 50-day moving average, which you've been doing right now, or you could give away this gain, 100% of this gain that we've just created over the last 7 to 8 days. H-bar is the same thing. You notice how all these coins have similar moving averages being converged and flattening and running parallel to each other. Similar price patterns, right, and similar price moves across the board the last 2 weeks. And the same thing for H-bar. You got to hold these moving averages, and if you do, you can try to make another run up here, and your next major resistance zone is up here at the 28 cents or the bottom part of this very light yellowish color box up there, right? But on the downside, if you break these moving averages in the pattern, which notice, you could pick any coin, their pattern looks like this, off a major support level. Their moving averages are creating bullish crosses with the 50 going over the 200 and also running parallel to each other. And they all are running the same pattern. And your underneath support is 15 cents if you break down. Your overhead resistance is what we just talked about. And one of the last coins that I want to talk about was XCN, a member of Jabroni Killers. I forgot to talk about it in the last update. You can see XCN is down here. Is consolidating again, and you can see the other day we just ran up again and wicked beautifully. Something that we were talking about that you could do when we were starting to trend back to the upside. Come on, let me have this. Pump beautifully right there again onto the major 0.022 level, which is the major upper resistance and the area that you got chopped down from right there twice over the last 15 to 20 days. And now you bounced successfully off the 50-day moving average, right? And running up against that resistance again, staying safely above that 0.01496, but we got rejected. So what you got to see now is, are you going to finally break this, breach the other three regional local highs and continue into this resistance box and make some headwind and hold it as support? Or are you going to keep getting rejected, and before you know it, you're going to slip the moving averages and you're down here at a major support level at the 0.01496 this week? Like the channel, subscribe. We'll have another in-depth update. Comment into the channel on this video and let me know the coins and what you want me to talk about for this evening's update. Peace and love. With a chilly northwest wind and a seasonably cool late spring day just north of downtown Detroit, with a current official temperature outside the Vincenzo compound of a chilly 48 degrees, Jay, in the great state of Michigan. Peace is love. Peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow, Jay.